All right, let's get right into it. We are going to an island that is just, well, it's packed with so much adventure and staggering beauty, it almost feels impossible. So get ready because we are about to show you the real Sri Lanka.
You've probably heard it called the Pearl of the Indian Ocean. And sure, it's a jewel. But honestly, that doesn't even begin to do it justice. I mean, this is a world where you could be climbing an ancient fortress at dawn and then tracking wild leopards by dusk. It is a place of truly epic contrasts.
Look, so many travelers end up on the exact same crowded path, but that's not what this is about. Nope. We're here to show you the insider's journey, the path to those truly beautiful spots. The ones you only find when you know exactly where to look. So what is it that makes this island just so special? Well, it's the sheer, unbelievable diversity that's packed into such a tiny space. I mean, you've got ancient kingdoms, wild jungles, misty highlands, and it's all wrapped up in some of the most beautiful coastline on the entire planet. And what's just incredible is how accessible it all is. You're not just choosing one type of vacation here. You're getting all of them. We're talking about scaling ancient rock fortresses in the morning, and then boom, you're off to a national park like Yala for some of the best leopard spotting on Earth. You can literally wake up surrounded by these lush green tea fields, and by that evening, be sipping a cocktail on a golden tropical beach. It's just a nonstop adventure through culture, nature, and history, and it's all within a few hours of each other. Okay, let's start our journey right in the high-altitude heart of the island. As we climb up, you can literally feel the air change. That coastal humidity just melts away, replaced by this cool mountain mist, and everything, I mean absolutely everything, turns this impossibly vibrant shade of green. And the capital of this green world? It's gotta be Ella. It's this incredibly charming little village just completely surrounded by a sea of tea plantations. And the best way to experience it? The absolute best way, you've gotta rent a scooter. There's this feeling of just total freedom as you wind through the tea fields, discovering hidden waterfalls and these stunning viewpoints. But getting there? That's an adventure in itself. You have to take the train. Seriously, the ride from Kandy to Ella, it's not just a trip, it is a rite of passage. It's 7 hours of just hanging out of an open train door, watching the world literally turn into an endless canvas of green. It is, and I'm not exaggerating here, one of the most beautiful railway journeys on the entire planet. And if you want something truly profound, then there's Adam's Peak. Now, this isn't just a hike. This is a sacred pilgrimage. You start in the dead of night, climbing thousands of steps in the dark, right alongside pilgrims. The journey up it's magical, but the reward? Witnessing a sunrise from way up high with the sound of chanting monks in the background, it is a truly unforgettable spiritual experience. Okay, let's leave the misty highlands behind and travel back in time to the historical core of Sri Lanka. We're talking about the Cultural Triangle. This is the land of ancient kings, a place where incredible, sprawling cities just rose out of the jungle centuries and centuries ago. Now, this whole region, it's just packed with UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It's anchored by 3 ancient capitals. You've got Anuradhapura, the massive first capital. Then there's Polonnaruwa, a bit more compact, but with these magnificent ruins. And of course, Dambulla, which is home to an unbelievable cave temple complex. The entire area it's completely steeped in thousands of years of history. And smack dab in the middle of it all, you have the icon, Sigiriya, the Lion Rock. Now sure, you can climb the nearly 2,000 steps to the top of this incredible rock fortress, but listen up, because this is the real insider move. You climb the other rock, Pidurangala, before dawn. Why? Because the view of the sun rising over Sigiriya, well, that's a sight you will never, ever forget. And then you have Dambulla. Okay, from the outside, it just looks like a huge rock. But inside you find the Golden Temple. It's this series of 5 caves, and they're filled with more than 150 absolutely breathtaking Buddhist statues and paintings that cover every inch of the walls and ceilings. That feeling of discovery, of stepping into this hidden, sacred world, it's just astounding.
All right, time to head south. We're trading those ancient ruins for golden sands and the jungle humidity for cool ocean breezes. The southern coastline, it's this spectacular mix of laid-back surf towns, incredible wildlife, and cities just dripping with colonial history.
The South Coast really has a beach for every kind of vibe. You could go to Mirissa, which has this fantastic, vibrant backpacker energy going on. But if you want a true hidden gem, Dickwella is your spot. It's way more laid back, a kind of turquoise sanctuary. It's just perfect for escaping the crowds and finding your own little piece of paradise. But Mirissa has one massive draw. Between November and April, the coast right off its shores becomes one of the best places on Earth for whale watching. We are talking about the biggest animal to have ever lived, the blue whale, along with sperm whales and dolphins. It is a truly humbling wildlife encounter.
And after all that adventure, you're going to want a place to just cool down. And that place is Galle. It's this beautiful, historic port city, all protected inside a massive stone fort. This is where that incredible Sri Lankan island soul meets European colonial history. And honestly, the result is just absolutely charming. And what's so fascinating about Galle is the history you can still see and touch today. Back in the 17th and 18th centuries, the powerful Dutch East India Company, the VOC, had a huge presence here. They're the ones who built this massive fort in Galle and a whole network of canals in places like Negombo. And you can still walk on those fort walls. You can still see those canals. This isn't history in a book. It is living, breathing history right there in front of you.
And here's a story that it brilliantly shows the power of that history. In 2004, when that devastating tsunami hit Sri Lanka, entire villages along the coast were just wiped away. But the old city of Galle, it was protected. Those massive fort walls, built by the Dutch centuries earlier, they held back the sea. They saved the town. So, okay, we've covered the places to go, but what does it actually feel like to be there? You know, what's the vibe? And maybe more importantly, what's the one secret, the one pro tip that will totally transform your trip?
Well, it's a full-on sensory experience. It's that incredible smell of spices and wood-fired curries that just drifts out from a kitchen. It's the feeling of that thick, humid jungle air suddenly turning cool and crisp as your train climbs up into the highlands. And it's that rhythmic sound of the Indian Ocean as you're watching the famous stilt fishermen at sunset. And you know, that really gets to the heart of it all. Because beyond the epic landscapes, the real soul of Sri Lanka, it's the people. The hospitality there is just legendary. You might come for the incredible views in the ancient temples, but I promise you, the memory you'll treasure the most is some moment of unexpected kindness, like when a local family insists you come into their home for tea just because you got caught in a sudden downpour. Okay, now for that pro tip I promised. I'm going to give you one piece of information that will let you have one of the most iconic sites on the entire island all to yourself. The only thing you need to remember? 6 o'clock in the morning.
Look, everyone goes to see the Nine Arch Bridge in Ella. It's an icon for a reason. But if you want to experience its real magic, if you want that perfect photo with absolutely no one else in it, you have to be there at 6 a.m. Get there before the first train shows up, before anyone else is even awake. The morning mist will be hanging in the valley, the light is just perfect, and the silence is something you will never forget.
Because Sri Lanka isn't just a place you go to see things. It's a place you go to experience, to feel, to connect with. We've shown you the insider's path, so the train is leaving the station. The only question is, are you on it?